Standing 214 feet tall on the eastern coast of India, the Jagannath Temple in Puri dominates the skyline. It is an immense stone monument, but its physical presence is marked by a series of precise, observable contradictions. For over 800 years, observers have noted a strict, unexplained airspace restriction around the main spire. No birds fly over the top of the temple, and local authorities ensure no modern aircraft cross directly into the airspace above it. This is a schematic diagram illustrating the temple's pyramid-like Kalinga architecture and its alignment near the Tropic of Cancer. It highlights another strange phenomenon. At exactly noon, this towering structure casts no visible shadow on the ground. Scientists suggest this is a masterclass in ancient engineering. Due to the precise geographic coordinates and the specific vertical angles of the stonework, the shadow is perfectly consumed by the structure itself, falling entirely within the building's own footprint. Then there is the external flag mounted at the very peak of the dome. On any given day, this heavy cloth flag can be seen flapping in the exact opposite direction of the prevailing wind currents off the coast. Aerodynamics and precise geographic engineering provide partial explanations for some of these physical oddities. To understand why such intense mathematical and structural care was taken, we have to look inside the temple, at the entity it was built to house. Moving from the sky to the interior courtyard, we enter the world's largest kitchen. Every single day, thousands of people are fed from this facility without a single reliance on modern gas or electricity. This animated cross-section shows the kitchen's daily cooking process. 7 clay pots are stacked vertically over a single fire. Basic thermodynamics dictates the bottom pot should cook first, yet here the topmost pot always cooks first, followed by the rest in descending order. Modern science struggles to explain how heat distribution completely bypasses the lower clay barriers. For the local priests and devotees, thermodynamics is irrelevant. They attribute this directly to divine mechanics. Inside these walls, physical logic yields entirely to the operational rules of the sanctum. The deity ruling this space demands a completely different set of physical laws. According to the origin myth, King Indradumna found a divine log washed ashore on the coast. He hired the celestial architect Vishwakarma to carve it into a grand idol, on the strict condition that the artist would not be disturbed. The king grew impatient, opened the doors early, and interrupted the work. As a result, Vishwakarma vanished, leaving behind physically incomplete wooden idols featuring massive heads and large eyes, but entirely lacking arms and legs. These incomplete figures introduce the theology of Daru Brahma, the divine manifested in wood. While most Hindu deities are forged from immortal stone or cast in metal, Jagannath is carved from mortal neem wood. Wood naturally decays. Because of this biological reality, the temple does not treat the idol as an inanimate statue. It is treated as a living, breathing entity that ages, falls sick, and is subject to a physical life cycle. This unavoidable physical decay means the wooden body eventually has to die. Replacing it requires a highly secretive, carefully timed ritual of death and rebirth. Once every 12 to 19 years, the temple performs the Nabakalebara Ritual. Priests exhaustively search the surrounding forests for specific neem trees bearing exact natural markings, like the impression of a conch or a wheel, to carve the replacement idols. The actual transfer happens under strict conditions. At midnight, the entire city of Puri is blacked out. The sanctum doors are sealed. 3 senior priests enter blindfolded, with heavy layers of cloth wrapped tightly around their hands. They reach into the chest cavity of the old decaying wooden idol and extract an object known as the Brahma Padartha. The priests report feeling a heavy, vibrating entity, like a jumping rabbit, which local tradition claims is the unburnt 5,000-year-old heart of Lord Krishna. They place this unseen, vibrating core into the newly carved wood. For the millions of devotees waiting outside, this simple act is what turns a block of neem into a living vessel of the divine. The temple also serves as a chronicled timeline for the future. Central to this are the Bhavisha Malika prophecies, a 16th century corpus of palm leaf manuscripts from Odisha that tracks global events through the lens of temple activity. For the devotees, the temple's physical state reflects the state of the world. When stones fall from the dome, or the peak flag catches fire, They see these as prophetic markers, signaling the final phase of our current age, known as the Kali Yuga. These ancient texts specifically outline a period of global restructuring overseen by a leader named Narendra, described as a monk-like ruler who manages both state administration and military strategy. In the context of the temple's other fulfilled signs, this political reference connects ancient scripture to modern leadership. Stepping back from the temple grounds, the Jagannath structure stands as a bridge between three worlds. It is where ancient engineering, a biological deity, and prophetic timelines intersect to create a paradox that science can observe but has yet to fully map.